Please welcome Nora Treatbaby. Enjoy the day. Support poetry.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nora. I am really grateful to be here, not to start the year on a corny note, but gratitude. I'm not hungover, and I'm getting hugs from my community and shit. I feel good, and I really love you all. I'm also really grateful that I was chosen to chosen to host this hour because there are truly some goats and really dear friends in this one, so I'm excited to be here. The first is Kimberly Alidio. Kimberly Alidio writes on Munsee Mohican land to support collective resistance, collective refusal, and collective flourishing to dismantle settler colonialism everywhere.
No writing beautiful than in chorus with Palestinian song against Zio entities. No poetry beautiful than flourishing directly opposed to empire. Inevitability extracts depth, rarefied space, self-flagellating, kind of hedonistic misfits crave discipline. If that's generative, F asks if he's in conversation. D ends for you. Summer of networked relations on the board, several points drawn, genealogy, appropriative, Cold War, memoir, method for inter-coordination. A baseless revision of edicts, beeline dishonor system, an arc from door to seat pocket lined with fish, tins, CCTV fence line crossed by hero troubadour. Humboldt, hold our line, mark, make, over boundary, marking sentences, barbed. Handshake, though, is parity cross contaminants. Beyond lit horizon, settler grid, fasci concept workshop, an arc shaved from temple to nape, OMG, I just did that. Survive education, kind of a captive state, quick one-off alliances induce lesson, forms almost ritual in nature, interfere in codes. Thank you.
Thank you, Kimberly. Vincent Katz is a poet and translator. He has a new collection of poems entitled Daffodil coming out in March.
Happy New Year. Thank you to the Poetry Project, and congratulations, Nicole. I'm going to read something from a collaboration with the painter and performer Taboo. Any Taboo fans out there? All right. A morganic experience. Perhaps you and I should just fly in a pixelated sky. The window disappears back into the disk icon. Rudy had been feeling something in his eye, so we tried a brownie you had given me 3 months by. Mamoon, it was, you called it, with molasses, nuts, and herb. Then blank frames intersected us. Yellow tulips glowed dazily. We went through streets to a church. I'm always nervous in the church, but there are lots of echoes there, I heard. Then the play began. We saw bright reflections on the floor, and our friends entered, one by one. Rosemary is so elegant in her pregnant pink cape, and Roberta resolutely sexy. Then we were walking and seeing vast flashes in New York's firmament underneath its most beautiful monuments. The oldest revolving door, the park, lighted tops of ancient towers, where we'd walked 1,000,000 times and taken photographs, past the building never built, the lobby never seen. Sheets of energy enveloped us. 182 Fifth Avenue, someone was home, lotus eaters, and an image in window Rudy stopped on, then we all stopped, mesmerized by twisting lines. We had a drink with the paintings, then everything drifted into a morganic realm where it still is, under gentle bursts of applause, a soprano's wicked shout, baritone's stern rebuttal, coffee, and another day of shifting beat positions, but covered in a distant, distinct, gauzy well of having been called again. Thank you.
Our next poet is Angela Abiodun. For show. Okay, Angela is curious about legacy, finding choice within systems dedicated to maintaining colonial virility, and how to use hibiscus to paint.
So thank you all for this. I'm gonna start by offering my thank you by offering some words of wisdom from poets, from writers who are not reading today. And then that will blend into a poem that developed out of my first time seeing a bullfight and me identifying with the bull. So the first part requires your participation. There's 3 options. I'm gonna ask for you to say out loud the option that you would like me to read from, which is reflective of a writer who I walk with, who is not present today. I'm not gonna offer you titles because of time, but I'm gonna give you your options as 1, 2, and 3. So take a moment, see who settles in your body, and then whoever gets the loudest number when I say go, whoever gets the loudest ruckus from the room, I will read from them and then continue. All right, so you've had a little bit of time to settle on the numbers. When I say go, shout out yours. Ready? I did hear a lot of 2s, so that's where I'm gonna go. And that's right on top. So I'm gonna start with Women Who Run With the Wolves from Clarissa Pinkola Estes. So this is technically bibliomancy, but I just call it book divination because it's not a Bible. It removes that type of everything related to it. So I shuffle the book, land where I land, and will offer you some wisdom from her. She says, renewing the creative fire. So now let us imagine that we have everything all together. We are clear about our intention. We are not drowning in escapist fantasy. We are integrated and our creative life flourishes. We need one more attribute. We need to know what to do, not if, but when we lose focus. That is, when we wear down for a time. What? After all this work, we might lose our focus? Yes, it would only be lost temporarily, but it is the natural order. From Clarissa. In order for nonviolence to work, your opponent must have a conscience, end quote, or my hopes for Ferdinand. 1, rage. Find its source, a place where your revenge is birthed. Collect materials for the fire. Fuel it. The wood, paper, oil, tinder, disappointments which will disintegrate every cage and stadium that holds you and coerces you to perform to a particular beat. 2, locate your choice. Does it reside in the grass, on the stairs, in the heart of the matador antagonizing you, whose blood must spill for you to regain access to it? to be introduced to the concept. 3, plot your revenge. Determine who you need to handle, that you need to show where they got you fucked up. 4, if forced in the arena, sunbathe. If the sun's gone down, enjoy the sifting breeze to nightfall. Traipse around the edge, show off your coat, find the whites of the horse's eyes, hone in on your next kill. Take a nap. Only move against the shade, tune out the groans, the audience, the exclamations of expectation and frustration due to following your heart. 5, craft fire fueled by the streamers from a javelin. Attack who caged you. 6, remember, isolation is not your only fate. 7, roar, snarl, growl, make every noise you can that identifies your internal state. 9, look for the connection with self. 8, purr. Are cats the only ones with the noises of contentment? Moan. 10, talk to yourself aloud. You're already assumed insane to imagine that you could be anywhere but there. 11, chase a ball of dust, a floating blade of grass, a flower. 12, play dead. Stop breathing. See how long it takes for them to leave you alone. Learn why wolves chew off their limbs when stuck. Thank you.
Our next poet is John Keene. John Keene is a poet, fiction writer, translator, artist, and professor.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Thanks to everyone at the Poetry Project, and congrats to Nicole and everyone here in person and virtually. I'm going to start with 2 poems that are not by me, but they're by poets who cannot be here with us. And the first is Rafat Al-Arir, a Palestinian writer, poet, professor, activist. He was born during the Israeli occupation of the Gaza Strip in 1979 and was killed by an IDF airstrike on Gaza in 2023. Free Palestine. This poem is entitled If I Must Die by Rafat Al-Arir. If I must die, you must live to tell my story, to sell my things, to buy a piece of cloth and some strings, make it white with the long tail so that a child somewhere in Gaza, while looking heaven in the eye, awaiting his dad who left in a blaze and bid no one farewell, not even to his flesh, not even to himself, sees the kite, my kite you made, flying up above, and thinks for a moment an angel is there bringing back love. If I must die, let it bring hope, let it be a tale. The second poem is by one of my favorite poets. She was my favorite poet as a child, Nikki Giovanni, who passed away this past year. And this is a beautiful, she wrote a lot of love poems, really sort of the middle to the end of her career. And this is called You Came Too. I came to the crowd seeking friends. I came to the crowd seeking love. I came to the crowd for understanding. I found you. I came to the crowd to weep. I came to the crowd to laugh. You dried my tears. You shared my happiness. I went from the crowd seeking you. I went from the crowd seeking me. I went from the crowd forever. You came too. The last poem is one of my poems called Postcard the March, and unfortunately I feel like this poem is always relevant. At the anti-war demonstration, a civil circus, no one hears the screaming in our nightmares. Our moments quiet, all soul beats fluting in unison. Each speaker wanders off into mistranslation. Finally, a common voice mounting the stage, justice. Then a plan for action animates our voices, drawn from the future. Thank you.
Thank you, John. I want to really thank you for bringing Rafah Alair's work into the room. He was killed in the Gaza Strip during the ongoing genocide in Gaza. It's probably the most important poem we will hear today. And his book, If I Must Die, is just released in December, so I think we should all, continuing to read his work posthumously. Okay, our next poem is Aaron Edgcomb. Aaron is a percussionist and composer engaged with experimental art forms.
All right, we're ready. Apologies, everyone. I'm going to play a piece for you using this drum and a contact mic and creating feedback in the drum. I really like working with feedback because I think there's something kind of amazingly fundamental about the phenomenon that you can run some current through a microphone and it activates the air in between these two membranes and then is instantiated as sound. I think that there's something really profound about just the idea of activating spaces, activating matter, activating people. That's what we're here to do. That's what we need going into the future. So I'm going to create a bit of a prayer or maybe even spell for the future.
Our next poet is Edmund Berrigan. Edmund Berrigan is editor of the Collected Poems of Steve Carey, forthcoming from Sub Press in 2025.
Hi there. Is this thing on? Oh, hey, there's volume. All right. I tend to be a melancholy kind of guy. But on the way over here, I was reading the news and I saw that Zimbabwe abolished the death penalty yesterday. I don't think we'll be so lucky, but it's, you know, if you need a resolution, there's something right there for you. I've been, since Halloween, I've been writing these sort of short journal entry poems in a series. It's called Power Transfer. And so I have 2 entries. (11/6/24). So we're endlessly trapped in power transference with cloying points of interest to intersect economic torture binges. And now the transparent whip cracks of bigotry, hatred, xenophobia, and war. One can only R. Quest to be as wrong as the sore points of the world become uninhabitable, and the cliffhanger leaves us pensive rumination rather than tangible fact. What is there to say when nations keep choosing death and subservience? Let us feed the jellyfish, opportunistic predators who eat a variety of plants and animals, zooplankton, a highlight of their diet. Stinging cells on their tentacles help them capture prey. They try not to overeat in case they need to float away. 11/30/24. How could we, oh did they? And death and starvation while we ate. Did we eat? Oh, we ate while they starved. It was you to blame with your guns made of work. They killed us, we killed them, but we're fine. I did it with my hands in my box, one box to another. We bombed the little boxes, made of piles now, and limbs and stray eyes. How they see, take that too. From death comes a title entitled to rise and take back the endless graveyard. It was you, it was me. I assume responsibility. We assume responsibility. Now you cry out all the days, rays of light bounce off your eyes, spiral cries, endless lies for all who die, child spies. Blood denied, that graveyard mine, I pay the price. It costs nothing not to see you die, nor hear you cry.
Evelyn Reilly is a poet, scholar, and environmentalist whose books include Styrofoam, Apocalypso, and Echolocation from Roof Books, and Having Broken Hour from Blaze Fox.
Hey everybody, Happy New Year, and more kudos to Nicole, what a great development. I'm going to read just one poem written at the height of the pandemic and the Black Lives Matter movement, which I think all this is still with us in various ways. Grief moves from box to box, calendars, emoticons, screenshots of a pangolin and a bat, having become the animal I am among the float of heavy bees. Every living thing has its natural history. Tree leaves, mutual need, insect calipers measuring out probabilities. The wind is full of shifting gears, which the overlords use to exert their usual machinations. Financial instruments, public relation messages. There aren't enough scare quotes in the world for this. Hope in the presence of other people, I once took as a provisional definition: amend, repair, revise, recognize, that kind of incantation. But an incipient way of thinking links us to an unsecured network. Having been brainwashed as children, we must suspect ourselves always. Dogged associations, such as a clearing in the woods closing at the rate of your own aging. Your arbitrary name sound wobbling in the same breeze that makes it impossible to turn over a new leaf definitively. You can only step into the fray, see what happens in the ecosystem of response. This may be prophetic pragmatism. How do we do together? Thus it's hair-raising when ancestors grope mystically at my scalp. Union soldiers become Indian hunters. Protestant ministers, indecipherable women cause permanent itchiness, past futures and future futures. Moth touchdowns have me putting up antenna again as delicate landing pads open under a fingernail of moony lyric impulse, endless exploratory probings, the inflammation of unpeaceful centuries, the respiratory systems, not breathing well at all, these forests, these streets. Thank you.
Okay, up next, Sacha Yanow. Sacha Yanow is a performance artist and actor whose practice is rooted in theater, queer performance, and radical Jewish tradition.
Thank you for having me here with these luminaries for this last night of Hanukkah. And it's an honor to be here. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm just a sardine, man. You know, I'm not sure why they invited me. I have a feeling it was because they thought I was this other sea creature, you know, the one whose ink gives us techelet, our holy color blue, you know? Yeah, everybody wants those fish, man. But they don't make appearances, so I know I'm a big disappointment. You know, I'm just a basic fish. I don't have techelet. I have this little poem. And it's not like the Song of Songs either, man. It's not that epic, you know. It's Song of Sardine. I'm just a basic fish. I'm just a basic fish, man. I'm just a basic fish. I'm just a basic fish, man. Call me sardine. Nutritious, kosher, affordable, abundant, basic. I'm your basic fish, man. I'm just a basic fish. I'm just your basic fish, man. And that's right. I'm a power bottom. Tin me, pack me, cover me in salt. I travel well. I keep real nice. I'm one of those diasporic delights. I'm basic. I'm just a basic fish, man. I'm just basic. I'm just a basic fish, man. I'm a shy little guy when I'm alone up here, but when I move with others, we are famously fruitful. Never got a fancy education, but I love my school, though. Did you know it was us that blocked the port of Marseille? From the Mediterranean to the Atlantic, we are out here. Hey, I'm just a basic fish. I'm just a basic fish, man. I'm just a basic fish. I'm just a basic fish, man. We're organized. We are in formation. We are Hanukkah. We're this minor holiday with a major appeal. We're the miracle of a little oil. We're the miracle of a little oil lasting 8 days, for real. Because we know that to get the holy color blue, that fish's blood has to be extracted while they're still alive, man. And we know where they are, but we fishes are not snitches. Most fishes are closer than you think, and our words are not just wishes. Look around. One day we will be as loud as the great leviathans roar, with freedom of movement for all beings and our sacred seas restored. Because any tradition that comes at the expense of others can never be holy. But what do I know? I'm just a basic fish. I'm just a basic fish, man. I'm just a basic fish. I'm just a basic fish, man. I don't have to kill it. I just have this little poem, and it's not the Song of Songs. It's a Song of Sardine. Yeah, call me Sardine. Thank you. Yeah, thanks. Happy Hanukkah, happy Gregorian New Year, free Palestine, and I'll see you out there, man.
Precious Okoyomon is an existential detective.
Hi. Happy New Year, everybody. This is Gravity. I can only write prayers right now, so this is my prayer for 2025. A winter violet sprouts, soul angst, wind-strewn. May you bring chaos with peace. I pray to be broken by love in new and unknowable ways. May I never be afraid of anyone or myself. May I never lie or hide myself. May the winds of the unknown break me. May love break me. Body tight, heart open. Body tight, heart open. May the winds of the unknown break me. Earth scatter. Body turn into dust. God blow through me. God blow through me. Break me. I pray that we fall down and we are pushed down into ashes and ashes and ashes, into a mirage of a constant ambiliation of miracles, into whimpers and cries, into becoming a new human. Rise up into a rebellion against the makers of the world, against making stuff in its image, going beyond the world like it projects astrally, overcome by time into a new consuming spiral. Meet me in that time warp, as far as the universe goes, from against together with unity, against the government, against flames. We move out in a moment of overexposure, circles back into, through, out of it all, into this time backwards, and then we fall down again and again, and we are pushed down into ashes and mercy and forgiveness, and converted down into hard gem blood straight into the earth's breast.
Next up, Jonathan Gonzalez. Jonathan Gonzalez is an artist and writer. Their upcoming book, Ways to Move, Black Insurgent Grammars, will be published with Ugly Duckling Press in November 2025.
Happy New Year. I'm going to be reading a poem from the upcoming book, but I wanted to dedicate this to a family member that we lost just a week ago, Ronnie. And Ronnie was a man of few words, but he had one gesture for everything. So I'd like everyone to join me if you can, and it was just a thumbs up. So if you could raise your thumb towards the ceiling, you could look up to the sky. This is for Ronnie. I want to be with you in the ways with you. I want to be with you in the ways with you that wrestle under the castle of our skin. I want to be with you in the ways with you that hack at the hold of our freedom. I want to be with you in the ways with you that vibrate at this skeleton. I want to be with you in the ways with you that slip beneath the cut of day's end. I want to be with you in the ways with you that speak to the bone. I want to be with you in the ways with you of infrared chatter. I want to be with you in the ways of entropic choreographies. I want to be with you in the ways with you of finding home. I want to be with you in the ways with you of Mississippi. I want to be with you in the ways with you of losing, lost. I want to be with you in the ways with you of exhaling into your inhale. I want to be with you in the ways with you of our zombies patrolling. I want to be with you in the ways with you of black Atlantiques. I want to be with you in the ways with you of vertigo seas. I want to be with you in the ways with you of smashing monuments. I want to be with you in the ways with you of these lonely trees. I want to be with you in the ways with you of glacial cognition. I want to be with you in the ways with you of our exposed stomachs strewn upon the earth. I want to be with you in the ways with you with seeds braided into our hair. I want to be with you in the ways with you with our traveling shoes always nearby. I want to be with you in the ways with you with love. I want to be with you in the ways with you with Marie Joseph Angelique. I want to be with you in the ways in a delirious hangover from a long night of the ways. I want to be with you in the ways with you of our beloved blight. I want to be with you in the ways with you in our dead spaces. I want to be with you in the ways in our recreational geophagy. I want to be with you in the ways with you in our contrapuntal cartography. I want to be with you in the ways with you with our being without a nation. I want to be with you in the ways with you in our promiscuous archive. I want to be with you in the ways with you in our breaks. I want to be with you in the ways with you in our scale of the ways. I want to be with you in the ways with you in our trichord. I want to be with you in the ways with you in our gothic wanting. I want to be with you in the ways with you in our trouble. I want to be with you in the ways with you after the curfew. I want to be with you in the ways with you like whoosh, all we needed was movement. I want to be with you in the ways with you folded out of sight. I want to be with you in the ways with you inside. I want to be with you in the ways with you without acquisition. I want to be with you in the ways with you without virtue. I want to be with you with the ways with you without a due north. I want to be with you in the ways with you without mimesis. I want to be with you in the ways with you reading aloud. I want to be with you in the ways with you under new suns. I want to be with you in the ways with you under Ninati Gug with Ajidamu. I want to be with you in the ways with you with our duppies. I want to be with you in the ways with you at our death by hanging. I want to be with you in the ways with you at Boikaman. I want to be with you in the ways with you as a black girl. I want to be with you in the ways with you. I want to be with you in camouflage. Thank you.
Please welcome back to the stage Stacy Szymaszek. Stacy has a new book entitled Essay coming out this year with Krupskaya Books.
Thank you. So I wrote a book that's mainly about friendship with cows. And this is one poem, Essay 18. To accept change is to love the little calf flinching at my touch, for she has her reason. It is to love her reason. To try something different, to abandon habit. I started going out in the late morning instead of late afternoon. I found the teens asleep and Donut eating by herself. She leaned into me for a thorough grooming. A slightly older calf named Molasses, who has donkey ears, came over and started rubbing her head on my elbow. Donut didn't give up her ground. I heard she will start to be holster trained by the apprentice's partner. They are leaning toward taking her north. I heard Wren is part Santa Gertrudis and not part Brahmin on Friday. When I was grooming her, a farmer told me she would likely have her baby that night, noting liquid collecting in droplets at her vulva. After I combed her, and as she ate her grain snack, I hugged her and laid my head upon her. She was so warm. I felt her neighbor Blinky's tail swatting my leg. She tends to be anxious. I don't even attempt to comb her. Earlier that week, the head farmer told me Wren isn't a great milk producer. I commented on how I seemed to befriend the least productive cows. He shared one tale of Wren's birth. Her mom escaped and had her in the woods. They both needed to be found and brought back to the shed. This could be another cow's story, though no one is sure about what happened, when. And in this way, I think poets and farmers can be friends. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that friendship with cow poems is also a crucial vibe for the year. This next poet is probably the person in the room I've known the longest. I did not go to undergrad or new to New York, and I was like kind of just me and my moleskin for a while. But I did know two poets, and Dave Morse was one of them. I'm like really happy to be introducing a sweet old person who's also done a lot behind the scenes for the projects over the years. Officially, Dave Morse is a poet living in Queens and one half of the Brooklyn used book dealership Better Read Than Dead.
Thank you, Nora, for the double introduction. Nora, you're also reading first next hour, so you could double introduce yourself if you want. Thank you all for coming. The dreamers sag a bit as if 5 years had thickened on their flesh or on my eyes. Wake them with what? Jack Spicer. Yes, a raccoon like a dame walked out of my office. I buried mystery in those beach but do not return to, beginning to serialize myself. Flowers wilt when I recall that cove folly, which is why I believe in stone as our only flower and sunk them. That shirt was once mine and can call it, oh, beloved, Eurydice shouldn't have gotten up in the first place if we can do that thing. Blame, solving nothing, anti-detective, prick is short for private dick. There is no summer. It simply does not. Colors of bee, curls, now action, not halo. Jesus was a carpenter ant, not halo, not even a fucking circle. Burrowed and made nuisance I can't fathom, let alone solve. High in the truck cab in shroud of valley, listening to all it holds for ear and carouseling past. Her fingernails, what had they been on him? When I can get back to that lake of mountain to plunge it, scary heights I would descend from balloon in flight to get closer to the ground. 5 minutes for 5 immortal years. The day I knew would run out of you. Green golden pages of leopard, ferociously golden for anyone. You were not but a good dream, a happy one. So made my misery and got up, shambled to reset this various life. Grieving this life, a state in which we have or have been too many and not enough for anyone, not but a good dream or happy one. Standing trouble on facts here in wretched stomach or lack thereof, can't help wondering. Catastrophe, are you there? What lake of myself without these legs I use to crutch on? And if there is no purpose, good. We can always use that. No purpose. Felling ground that I didn't know possible astounds our impossibilities no more carved into virtue. I am sorry. Songs become cranes to watch love lift up above my head and toss into what will mostly become hallway. My favorite part of loving was never about love, it was about witness. Trial's over, and the real unbearable sentence begins, ends in release. I tried you yesterday knowing you out of service because I needed to hear your voice and knew I would not. The valley I dwell contains rocks and bees, 7 rivers, a fish. I talk with each morning and tuck to bed with my brain. There is no work, but there I eat. I could unmake this rotten world, strike break into flint, flood the garden until the seeds return, too worried about what I might think to care, too busy making sure I don't. The land gets treaded just enough to host paths. That's about as far as I can get with statehood. God waits for me to head north to drop the weather. Like Jesus, a drunk, a snitch on himself, I shuffle trucks. I wait outside. I smoke for effect. I don't cross the road. I cross me. I will keep waiting under the toll of the bell, and I do. When my eye returns, yes, it was an injury of eating ass. Tonight was a movie, a really fucking horrible one. If you clamber up the rocks to where the lake holds the moon, you can break it. My heart, not meant to be held but thrown. There is no valley shadow for the negating other, just death. Like a flick of bird, I see into the opposite and wander about the tourniquet, stretching my life, not accepting submission. Confronted with my failures, I have forgotten. I go out walking. I do too much talking. Haunt my own dreams. These days is an unidentified fucking object. Thank you.
Okay, the last performer for this hour, Jeannine Otis. Jeannine is a recording artist, writer, who is the director of music for St. Mark's Church.
Okay. Hello. Well, while we're setting up, I want to thank Nicole for the invitation and give a shout out to Stacy and Kyle. And yep. And we're going to do songs that are prayers. I'm really inspired by poetry all the time, so to keep focus, to keep hope, that's what we're really going to need, and to stay together. So we picked 2 of our favorite people, Nina Simone and Bob Marley, to do a kind of a mashup of songs. And so I dedicate this to my mom and my grandfather, Elisha Houston, who was from Jamaica. And I have with me today stage veteran Larry Marshall, and amazing Bim Strasberg.
Nobody's fault but mine. Nobody's fault but mine. Well, if I die and my soul be lost, nobody's fault but mine, Lord. Nobody's fault but mine. I got a mother who could pray. I got a mother who could pray. Well, if I die and my soul is lost, nobody's fault but mine. Nobody's fault but mine. Nobody's fault but mine. Nobody's fault but mine. Well, if I die and my soul is lost, nobody's fault but mine.
Oh, pirates, yes, they rabbi, sold I from the merchant ships. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit, but my hands were made strong by the hand of the Almighty, who followed in this generation triumphantly. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I ever heard, redemption songs. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the time. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Some say it's just a part of it. We got to fulfill the book. Won't you help to sing? Won't you help to sing this song of freedom? 'Cause all I ever heard, redemption song. Now if you know this, sing with me. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the time. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Some say it's just a part of it. We got to fulfill the book. You can sing this part. Won't you help to sing? There you go. These songs of freedom, 'cause all I ever heard, redemption song. Won't you help one more time? Won't you help to sing sing. That's right. 'Cause all I ever heard, redemption songs, songs of freedom, songs of freedom, songs of freedom. Two more times. Songs of freedom. Last time.
Okay, before I go, there is also some more business to attend to. This is obviously a beautiful, sacred way to spend our New Year's Day, but this is also just us busking for money for 12 hours. We need coin for the year, so one thing you can do, there's food, book sales, and drinks in the back. Please support. Also, donation is accepted. I don't know how you do that, but someone's gonna get up on here and tell you. QR code on the back of your program. Yeah, the Poetry Project, I talked about my humble roots. The Poetry Project was the absolute first thing that ever gave me any institutional notification that I was doing anything right. I'm extremely grateful for this place. I got an email from Laura Heinrichsen, shout out another Poetry Project legend who we should applaud for her departure into motherhood. It's unimaginable to me to be a poet without the Poetry Project. And last year, I feel like the 50th anniversary was a lot about looking back and the legacy and the weight and the names, but there's so many more to come that need this place and need this space. So please donate and give freely, and thank you for allowing me to host. And they can be members. I also don't know how to do that, but they can be, I've been told. Next host, because it is a marathon, Taja Cheek. Taja is a musician and curator from Brooklyn.